Hey everyone, how's it going? And I'll be reviewing today The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Warning spoilers. Now, when I first heard about Amazing Spider-Man, I was a little bit worried. Um, you know, I was just like, oh, please be better than Spider-Man 3. When it came to the multiple villains. And, you know, thank goodness. Because it did pretty good. Now, first I'll start with the plot. Pretty much it starts off with Peter as Spider-Man. Well, actually, no, it actually starts off with Peter's parents. We have Peter's father. He's talking about how he is, how he's gonna have to go through a lot of crap, and he knows that his life is pretty much screwed. Um, and then we hear Peter, and he goes and sees him, and then we find out that it's pretty much telling him what was going on even more when he left. Um, I think they actually redid some of the scenes because I believe that one of the scenes went a little bit differently than it went down before, but who knows? But yeah, then we see them on the plane, and we kind of see that Pierre's dad, yeah, you must have. Even though he's not like he doesn't like have like great fighting, great fighting experience. He seriously can kick ass. Um, he fights against this guy who was. I don't know if they said he was there to kill him or if he was there just to take him for information and stuff because uh, there was a lot that Pierre's father was doing, but who knows? Point is, guy shows up, the dad's able to face him, and well, they're on the plane, so you kind of know how this is gonna go. Afterwards, we get to Peter, who is Spider-Man, and he is enjoying it. He loves being Spider-Man. The first thing he does is that he deals with the Rhino. Well, before he becomes a Rhino, um, and eventually we see him dealing with seeing Captain Stacy, and we see how the relationship with him and Gwen is going, and the relationship is obviously not going that great because her father said to leave her alone, and yeah, how do you think you're gonna feel if you're breaking that promise? Okay, I mean, yeah, he's not going well with it, and she's trying to help him out with it, but yeah, he doesn't know what to do, and becomes this really crazy thing with them, and it happens a lot, and while this is going on, Spider-Man also saved, um, you know, um, Max, or as we will know him as Electro, and yeah, he is wow. At first, we think he's just gonna be he's that timid guy who can who just want a friend and stuff. But then, yeah, that little scene we saw in the trailer with him and the Spider-Man stuff. No, that was just a little bit. We see the whole thing, and damn, like okay, through the scenes that we have him in, I don't know whether or not I should find this funny, sad, disturbing. Either way, I don't know how to feel about this. But Jamie Foxx, what he does with it is pretty good. Um, we see that Max deals with a lot of crap though, especially at Oscorp. Even though he has done some great stuff there, no one knows that he does, and I can see that. That would piss me off. It's like, hey, I have discovered like freaking Atlantis, and then they don't even acknowledge I discovered it. They just find the damn thing and they expect it freaking, I don't know, it fell out of the damn sky, or with Atlantis it just popped out of the ocean. But yeah, that's kind of like how Max was going through the whole thing. It really sucked. And while that's going on, Harry Osborn's back, and we actually see a moment with him and Norman. And Norman in there is wow. Okay, I'm gonna make this clear. Norman is not in the film that much, but what we do see of him, he is we kind of see in the condition that he's in though, and he kind of looks like the Goblin when we see him. Like he has the green skin, the long nails, um, and he kind of acts like Norman, so he can't. So it's not like, oh, freaking they just call this guy Norman, but he's not acting like him. No, he acts like Norman, um, and stuff. And Harry in here is pretty good, especially like I knew he was gonna do okay because the actor that plays him. I've seen him do pretty good roles, especially Chronicle. That's been like a good example for his character because Harry is like that character from Chronicle. Have issues involving his family, and tries to be a good person, but eventually kind of gets to the point of going dark and just becoming a psychotic. So yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, he can totally do that. And yeah, Harry though is his main thing in the movie is that he is suffering the same condition his father is, which is degeneration, and we kind of see hints of it. Even Norman points out, yeah, I can tell, like you've been going through this when you're a little kid. That's why I sent you away because you need to live. I was gonna let you live on your life a little bit faster than you wanted because yeah, you're probably not gonna make it. And the only thing he can give, and he tells Harry that there are some people that could help, but yeah, um, while Harry's running Oscorp, we see him, and he is pretty cold while he's there. Like he's cold to the people there, except for Peter and another character, but I'll talk about that character later. The relationship with him and Peter is pretty good, and it's kind of like, I wish we saw more of it though. But the stuff we got was really good, and it really sucked when we eventually see the two become enemies, because we all know, like, oh, come on, you guys are buddies, come on, sit down, talk about this, pop a brewski or something. I don't know, don't try to kill each other type of thing, because it kind of sucked when you have that, because it always sucks when you have to see that, like, even though, like, I should be used to that. But as for, Electro, Electro is awesome, okay? You see, okay, when he is Max, he's okay, but wow, Electro is just awesome. When we see Max, better known as Electro, yeah, he doesn't want to hurt anyone. He's just like, well, I don't know what the hell's going on here. What the hell's going on? Like, he's freaking out, like, his power, he doesn't know how to control the power. He's seeing things really weird, like, he's seeing he's basically seeing all the electricity around him. He's seeing all the supply he can get, and yeah, the scene with him and Spider-Man's pretty good. And the interesting thing about Electro is that crap, I lost it. It was something really interesting. I didn't notice at first, but then I was like, oh, so that's how they did it. But I guess I gotta wait a bit though. Before I get to it, I'll talk about something else though until it comes back to me. The scene with him and Spider-Man's pretty good. Like he's like, as they've shown, he's trying to calm down, but Electro kind of snaps and he eventually just starts attacking everybody. And that's where we get to the best part, the fight scenes. Every fight scene is awesome. Okay, when Spider-Man fights Max, aka Electro, yeah, it's awesome. It is absolutely badass. And we also get to see Ravencroft, which is pretty cool. The only thing I didn't like though is I didn't care that much. Well, I didn't flat out hate it, but I can't say I didn't like it either because it was still cool to see Ravencroft. But the thing I thought was just a little weird was that Dr. Kafka is in here, but it's not Dr. Kafka. In fact, Dr. Kafka in here feels more like a Zola rip, another version of Zola from frickin' Captain America. Like he even has the accent. He even has like a German accent for some reason, which is weird. I don't remember Kafka doing that, but heck, I also remember Kafka not having, also having boobs and a frickin' and not having so many Y chromosomes. But whatever. Yeah, but we do get to see Kafka, and I'm wondering who else we might be seeing in Ravencroft later on, because obviously we're not gonna be. This isn't the last time we're gonna be seeing the place. The other things that are stuff that happens in here. Oh, now I remember. The thing I thought was interesting is that Max, aka Electro. Why am I saying aka Electro? I should say Electro. Electro's music. At first, I thought it was okay. It's really cool. It's just stuff that they're adding in there just to build him up a little bit. But then I noticed that the lyrics in here are actually what he's thinking. So yeah, like it actually kind of worked. I noticed it when the lyrics said, he lied to me. He's now my enemy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, oh, that's actually kind of cool, type of thing. But yeah, but like all I can say that's left in the film is that's pretty good. But the stuff that did bother me, I'll get into a few of them. First off, they rehash a lot of stuff, and I mean a lot of stuff. Okay, they rehash stuff with Peter's parents. And I know it's in the comics, like, in fact, they kind of adapt a few stuff that's in the comics. Um, they have a moment in the ending which is way too familiar from the ending in the last movie. Um, and, also there's, um, you know, Peter being inventive, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with Peter upgrading stuff. That was like something I liked. But the thing that bothered me though is that he has to learn this. He shouldn't have to learn this. Peter is a smart guy. He already knew this stuff when he first started out. Like in the comics, like there were points where he had to face off against villains like Electro. Some villains were even more powerful than Electro, and he already knew how to handle it. Hell, freaking in the comics, he had entire suits dedicated to it. But whatever. The other stuff I can say in here that they also bring in a lot of characters from comics. Like they actually bring in Smythe. I thought that was kind of cool. They brought in Smythe. People that don't know who Smythe is, Smythe builds the Slayers, and maybe he will become one at one point. There's a character named Felicia who I don't know if that's supposed to be Felicia Hardy. Like they didn't say her last name, but still that's kind of cool. That they brought in Felicia in there. So maybe we get the cat involved. Well, okay, the cat was her father, but you know who I mean. Yeah, maybe we'll get him too, though, because that'd be interesting. Yeah, one thing I want to point out, though. I think I was the only guy in the theater that didn't bring this. Like, everyone was bringing this, and I have nothing against it. I'm just like, seriously, like, clearly they were doing this, but they just did this. They released this book during the opening of the movie to get more sales on this, and clearly it worked. Everyone brought this to the movie theater. Well, okay, except me and a few others, but yeah. Still, I thought they really did a good job at that. They did a good job there. They did a great job building up the Sinister Six, and as for the ending, I don't want to spoil it. But I will say they did a good job, giving the idea of what they were giving. I know it's going to piss off a lot of people, but personally for me, I liked it. Kind of gives out a lot of ideas that they can do later on. And, oh yeah, I know people are going to ask. Yeah, this right here, that's right, yeah. I'm not even going to say anything, because, it's not even because even if I said it, it's not even a spoiler. We all know what's going to happen. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say. If you're a Spider-Man fan, I recommend checking it out. It's a pretty good film. And that's all I gotta say. Bye.